Watch your child soar to new heights at Cabarrus Charter Academy. Cabarrus Charter Academy is a tuition-free public charter school now accepting applications for kindergarten through 12th grade. Our curriculum encompasses a student-focused learning environment, offering whole child development while fostering strategic partnerships between families, teachers, and the community. Join us for an information session or submit an application by visiting cabarruscharter.org today.
Good evening, Facebook families. It's Principal Kim White joining you for our first Sunday chat in quite a while. Our last time together was the last Sunday in June, and we had just wrapped up an unexpected remote learning environment, and then we arranged pickup for student materials, and then moved right into answering your questions about our summer learning opportunities. In July, you may have enrolled your students into our Fast Forward program, which was our summer learning opportunity. And then we moved right on into August. So all of us were waiting with bated breath from the governor's announcement about what we'll be doing with school's year. This 2020-2021 school year, we had to determine if we would have Plan B or Plan C. And so you know that we've had a couple of board meetings, one last Friday and then the most recent one on July 31st, this just past Friday, an emergency board meeting where the board had to determine what would be the way we'd be opening school this 2021 school year. What we learned from the board that had originally thought about maybe opening with Plan B, some flexible learning opportunities, this past Friday, they finalized their decision with Plan C. And as you know, Plan C is our fully mobile option. So we will be opening school on August 19th in the fully mobile option. And I know lots of families have questions about what that means for you and what that means for your time at work and your time with your students and how your students will be learning. And we're going to work through all of those processes and all of those questions with these first 9 weeks of mobile learning. But I just wanted to check in with you this evening and give you some information about what you can expect in the next couple of weeks. And then every Sunday evening, we'll come together again and answer any questions you may have. Now, after August, family, I won't be using Sunday evenings for the chats, but rather I will embed them in our weekly meetings, probably on Fridays. So you'll be paying attention to that updated schedule after August. We'll probably be moving to Fridays for these times for us to sit and talk about what your questions are and what your concerns may be and how I can help. All right, so let's get into some of the content that I wanted to share with you this evening. And after we get into that content, we'll move right on into answering your questions. We've got several topics for you today. So, as I alluded to just a few moments ago, this past Friday, the board made a decision. It was a reversal of their decision from July 24th to move to opening school with Plan C based on the governor's descriptions of Plans B and C. So what Plan C means is that we're fully mobile. That means we will be learning, your students will be learning from a location that is not in person. It is not in the school building. We will also be talking about our new opportunities to communicate with you. It's called School Messenger. I'll give you an update on open house and our uniform sale. And then finally, we'll be talking about systems of support and any parent information meetings that we will schedule for you to help you learn all of the new features that we're offering to support this fully mobile opening. So with the Board of Directors' decision that we will be fully mobile, we are still opening school on August 19th. That has not changed, and learning will begin every day at 7:45 a.m. So your learner will be joining us on Schoology. That is our learning management system for this school year, the 2021 school year. We will be using Schoology, but we will be offering opportunities for you, family, to learn more about Schoology before we place that content there for you to use. Also, we expect our learners to show up in that mobile classroom ready to learn at 7:45 a.m. in their school uniforms. So, another way that we'll be communicating with you this year, I know you've gotten in the past telephone calls from us. Miss Akla has been amazing with sending that weekly pack with information as well. This year, we are migrating to School Messenger, and we are very excited about that because with School Messenger, you get to choose how you receive information from us. You will have the opportunity to choose text, telephone call, email, or all three. Also, you will have other opportunities to respond to content that you receive from us. So be on the lookout when we have these parent information meetings. We're going to talk with you about how to use School Messenger as well as how to use our learning management system. So you won't be alone in figuring it out. We'll be working with you to do that. So you have to know that if you haven't reviewed your child's information in School Mint, remember School Mint is our enrollment software. You have to contact Mr. Shields because all of this information is connected through School Messenger. So we don't have your most current information for your telephone calls, for your emails, or for your text. We have to get that updated as soon as possible, or you're going to be out of the loop. And we don't want you out of the loop. We want to make sure we establish two-way communication so you always know what's going on at Cabarrus Charter Academy. Note on the slide, you'll see systems will start to synchronize this week. That means they're going to integrate this week with the information that we have. So it's really important that you contact Mr. Shields at tshields@cabarruscharter.org if we don't have your most current information so that you stay informed. So, coming up, August 18th is open house. That's the evening before the first day of school. Our open house this year, because we are in Plan C, will include some live sessions, just like we're doing now, using this platform. And then we'll also have some recorded sessions for families to view at their convenience or to review if they have questions once they've seen other information. So you will have the opportunity to join me and to join the classroom teachers in a live session on August 18th. And then you will also have the opportunity to view recorded sessions at your convenience about this year's fully mobile school opening on August 19th. We will have a uniform sale. We've got some used, gently used uniforms that we will make available for purchase. We will set up on Parent Drive. We're all very familiar with Parent Drive at this point. We'll set up on Parent Drive. You will have the opportunity to purchase gently used uniforms, and you will also have the opportunity to purchase new uniforms as well. We're going to finalize those dates for you this week and then the upcoming weeks, and then we'll publicize that for you. So make sure, once again, that we have your most current information because as soon as those dates are finalized, we will send it out to you and then you will make the option if you're going to attend the used uniform sale, the new uniform sale, or both. Systems of support. Now that we've heard from the board on July 31st about the fact that we will be opening with the fully mobile classroom that is Plan C, there are still systems of support that many of our families require, and we are aware of that. So be aware that we will be reaching out to you to find out how we can support you, what you'll need to make sure that your learner is ready to be successful in the fully mobile classroom. That includes you may have questions about device access. If you already have one of our loaner devices, it may require some maintenance. You may have questions about that, and we'll be publicizing that information. We also have some families who may be interested in the food pickup schedule. We're going to be scheduling daily and weekly pickup opportunities for our families. And so if you require that support, it's a tough time for all of us as we continue to journey into the unknown. So we're going to be able to support in that way if your family would like that support. Now, make sure, though, so that we can have accurate numbers, if you have not already completed the application for free and reduced lunch, make sure you complete that application for free and reduced lunch because if you qualify for either of those benefits, you will be able to apply them even when you're picking up food on a weekly or a daily basis. So we will be providing family support in that way. And then finally, you may need some medical or social and emotional support. And just as we provided in late March and on into the closing of the school year, we have Nurse Stevie available as well as Guidance Counselor Washington available. to share with you resources for those medical and social and emotional supports that you may require as school opens on August 19th in the fully mobile classroom. So that's quite a bit of information I've shared with you, starting with Friday's board decision and moving right on through some of the details we are working through to provide you support as school opens. What questions do you have? Are they wearing uniforms online? Yes, they are wearing uniforms online. Even though it's a mobile classroom, we still expect students to show up in their school uniforms and ready to learn. We want to establish that routine, even though we're in the mobile classroom, because we are not going to be in the mobile classroom forever. So we want to make sure students get right into that routine. So, yes, students will be required to wear their school uniforms in the mobile classroom and in the in person classroom. Is there a website to apply for free and reduced lunch? Absolutely, there's a website. If you go to our school's website, www.cabarruscharter.org, and click on the Parents tab, underneath the Parents tab, you see the opportunity to apply for free and reduced lunch online. It's not even a paper pencil process anymore. Everybody does it online. I encourage everybody to apply, even if they don't plan on taking advantage of that benefit. Because, first of all, you don't know if your circumstances may change and you need that benefit. But secondly, that helps us out. Our grant numbers are determined based on the number of people who apply for free and reduced lunch. And I want 100% of our families to apply. So once again, you can go right to our website, www.cabarruscharter.org. Click on the Parents tab, and underneath the Parents tab, you see your opportunity to apply for free and reduced lunch. Remember, Principal White wants 100% applications on that. What other questions can I answer? Will we be able to pick up a device if needed? Absolutely. That's a great question. We're going to be, once again, reaching out to families to see if you need a device. We've surveyed a couple of times and asked if you needed devices, and families have shared they have. But it doesn't matter if you had the opportunity to share that on the survey or not. We will be checking in by teacher. We'll have our teachers call our families to see if anyone needs a device and whatever else they may need. We're also going to be doing some materials collections, and we're going to be sending that right on over to our families. So no worries if you need any devices to access the mobile classroom. We're prepared to support you in that way. No worries at all. What we do with the school supplies that we purchase. Will they be using them at home? They will be using them at home. They'll be using those school supplies. And also, we've purchased some based on teacher request. We've purchased some for them to use at home. We're going to prepare those packs and arrange for pickup days, and families can pick those packs up, and they'll be using them at home. In the mobile classroom, the teacher will still be using interactive instructional strategies, and students will have those materials right in front of them instead of mom and dad having to scramble to get them for them. So we want to make sure that they have the supplies that they need. So hang on to those if you've already purchased them. And plus, like I said before, they will get back to the building eventually. It won't be the first 9 weeks, but they will get back, and we'll need those supplies. So please hang on to them. What other questions do you have? It's fully mobile planned for the entire year. Good evening, Mr. Clark. Good to see you online. It is not fully planned. At this point, the board has voted for the first 9 weeks of school, and then just to revisit their decision to see where we are. Now, we don't anticipate the full year being mobile, but we don't know. It's a day-to-day situation, but we are hoping to get students back into the building. With the first 9 weeks, we are continuing to plan. We're continuing to design our building and upfit it for the fact that students will be returning to us. We miss them. What will the hours for school be? The hours for the school day will still be 7:45 to 3 p.m., but what happens during those hours will change. We will have what's called synchronous, which means online and live learning, and asynchronous learning all throughout the day. And asynchronous means that the student has the opportunity to complete activities independently, and then they rejoin the classroom in the live session to go over what they've worked on independently. But the school day will still be 7:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, we know that we have families who may have challenges with that because of other work commitments or work schedules. So we will be working with families on a one-to-one basis if there's some struggle with attending from 7:45 to 3:15 p.m. or 3 p.m. What else can I answer for you? Can you give us an idea of what their day will look like? Absolutely. So, just as I was just saying, there will be asynchronous and synchronous learning. Synchronous learning just means that it's live, just like we are here. They will be interacting with the teacher. The teacher will have a camera. They will be moving through the core content. They may be in the synchronous learning session for the first, depending on the age of the student, 60 or 75 or 90 minutes of their day. And once again, it depends on the age of the student as teachers move through that core content. Then they have the opportunity to practice independently. They have the opportunity to attend their encore classes, and then they will rejoin their students, or excuse me, their teacher in the synchronous learning environment toward the end of the day to once again to review the new learning, to review the independent practice, and then to wrap up for the day. So that will generally be what the day looks like Monday through Thursday. On Friday, students have the opportunity to join teachers through office hours to get extra tutorials for learning gaps they may have received. They'll have small group and one-to-one one-to-one tutoring with the teachers or someone, an interventionist in our building. We will use Fridays to close gaps for our students. So while there may be no live instruction, there will be a closing of gaps on Fridays where we're re-looping the learning for students who may need that, or students are ready to move forward. We're providing them with a preview for the learning for the upcoming week. How are board members selected? Are they appointed or elected? There's an application for our NCCEF board members. They complete the application process and then they're voted on by the current members of the board. We have board members who elect to opt off of the board, and when that vacancy presents itself, then we seek out other members of the board to apply or other members of our community to apply, and then they are voted on by the current members of the board based on that application process. It's an important job. Thank you for that question, Mr. Young. How will children with IEPs be handled? They will be handled very similarly to our spring sessions where we had to do live sessions with our students who have, we call them our special population students. They will have live sessions with their teacher, and they will also have the opportunity to work in smaller opportunities with the teachers other than their regular teachers. So if they have one teacher that they spend most of their time with, they will still receive services if they receive speech or OT or any of our other services. They will continue to receive those services, but it will be in the remote or mobile setting. When do we find out our achievers teachers for the year? That's about a week away. We had some things planned out based on Plan B after the board meeting on July 24th. But then after Friday's board meeting, we've got to reshuffle some things around. And so we'll be ready to share that information no later than August 10th, along with some other updates about how to prepare your learner for opening school in the mobile classroom. So about August 10th, expect a communication from us. What classes are planned? Yes, in addition to the core content classes, we will continue to have our 5-day rotation of our encore classes. That is music, art, Spanish, health and PE, and business and technology. Any other questions? Once again, this session is being recorded and it will be shared with you on our Facebook page. So if you haven't liked our page on Facebook, please do so. And then you'll also find this recording on www.cabarruscharter.org. Currently, we have plans to share one laptop with each child, and some students also have an IEP that requires that they have an iPad as well. And so whatever their IEP says they will have that technology. And then for our general education students, they will have a laptop if they need it. And we will have a process for you to request a device. Do I know if the upper and the lower schools will both be starting at 7:45? I believe upper campus will be starting at 7:30, but Mr. Pierce will be meeting with parents this week. I think it's Tuesday. He's got that schedule, but it may be on their page. He'll be meeting with parents this Tuesday to discuss what their start time is, but I believe their start time is 7:30. Is middle school also going to need to wear uniforms while in Zoom classes? That's something I have not discussed with Mr. Pierce, and so I will make sure that I communicate to him to share that information with families. That is an expectation for our K-5 students because we know that at the K-5 level, establishing routines is really helpful for our younger learners. But I'm not sure if he's requiring that for our older learners. But I will shoot him a text and make sure that he addresses it on his stand up. That's a great question. Will the schedules vary by grade? Absolutely. That's a great question, and that's a great planning point. Will the schedules vary by grade so that we don't have all students all on Zoom at the same time, just to accommodate our families? And let me just share with you, we probably will not be using Zoom as the learning platform because our new learning management system, Schoology, as I mentioned earlier, integrates with Office Teams, and it's also a more secure feature for us as well. So we're probably going to be migrating to Office Teams for those live sessions, but it is a great point that you bring up to make sure that we stagger them so that if students are sharing devices, they can all enter Zoom when they need to. Thank you for bringing that to our remembrance. Will parents get printouts or workbooks? All of our workbooks are digital, but if you request a printout, we can absolutely accommodate that request. All you have to do is let your teacher know. We've got support team members on standby, ready to provide you with digital access, paper access, and any other support systems that you may need to help your learner moving through the first 9 weeks of school and beyond. Well, everything, yes, that is the benefit of Schoology, finally adopting a learning management system across our K-12 campuses. Everything will be on Schoology instead of in multiple places. That's a great question, and that was part of our consideration, trying to make it more convenient for our families. What other questions do you have? It's jumping tonight. Usually the questions, there's a little bit of lag time. You guys are on it tonight. I joined the video late. What is the date of the open house? Open house is August 18th. That is the day before the first day of school, which is August 19th. We will have live sessions just like we're doing here now, but we will also have recorded sessions available to you that will be completed by our grade level teams as well as myself, Ms. White. Once again, if you miss parts of the recording, because it happens, you have other things you're working on, and we're aware of that, keep in mind that the full recording will be on our Facebook page. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, please just do a search for Cabarrus Charter Academy and then like our page, and there the videos will be housed. Also, you can go to www.cabarruscharter.org, and you can also find these video recordings there for you to review at a later time. Sometimes you're not sure if you've heard a particular thing, and it's helpful to have the video to review, or you review it and you have other questions and you want to email myself or Mr. Shields or Miss Akla. My email address is kwhite@cabarruscharter.org. Mr. Shields, our wonderful registrar, is tshields@cabarruscharter.org. And then our wonderful admin assistant, Miss Akla, is makla@cabarruscharter.org. So if you have to email any one of us after you hear this information, we are open to you doing that because we want to make sure that you have as much information as you need to support your achiever. Will hotspots be made available for those who don't have internet access? Again, that is a great question. And yes, we are. We are pursuing contracts currently with our Verizon partners to request access for families that don't already have internet access, or maybe you're only working with internet access through a cellular phone. We are requesting that access for you. So once again, we will be reaching out, teachers will be reaching out to see what support you need to make sure that your learner is ready to learn on the first day of school. And depending on what that support is, we're ready to provide it for you so that we can open up with Q1 fully mobile, but all of our learners ready to learn. Great question. Will the kids be able to wear spirit wear on Fridays? Of course. What is Cabarrus Charter Academy without Spirit Wear Fridays? We're going to ask teachers to wear spirit wear, and we're going to ask our students to wear it on Fridays as well. We're going to have the same dress code expectations in our mobile classroom as we have in our in-person classroom. We just won't have the opportunity to see the entire uniform. Will we get training in Schoology? Yes, we will be planning parent information sessions for Schoology and School Messenger. And then if you can't join us live, we're going to have videos posted as well, just so you have the opportunity to become more familiar with Schoology before your learner starts jumping into the new learning and the expectation of completing assignments. And so we're asking teachers to take that process just a little slower this year than they may have in the in-person setting, just so families have the opportunity to get acclimated, to get comfortable with the programming, the platform, and then you're ready to go. So we will have live sessions for that and recorded sessions because we're all learning it together. It's not just parents, teachers, I am, Principal White is learning it as well. Yes, students will need to wear their school uniforms for the mobile classroom as well as the in-person classroom, so that when they're ready to come on back into the building, they'll already be in the routine of dressing for success. What other questions do you have? And this is Principal Kim White joining you just for a Sunday evening chat. You may hear in the background, I'm just sitting on our porch and just chatting with you and answering your questions you may have. There was a big decision made on Friday evening to move us to Plan C, to open school for the first 9 weeks. That's fully mobile. I just want to make sure you have the opportunity to answer questions. I'll be right here with you every Sunday evening for the month of August. After the month of August, these meetings will probably move to Friday afternoons. Again, just checking in with you, seeing if you have any questions, any needs, any suggestions, because you guys have had some great feedback on this call just this evening, and I want to make sure that I share with Mr. Pierce, my colleague at the upper campus, and make sure that we're addressing your concerns at the lower campus as well. So we're glad you're here this evening. How will the regular day look for second and third graders about breaks and encore classes? We talked a little bit about the fact that our K-5 achievers will be engaged in what we call synchronous and asynchronous learning. Asynchronous learning is when the students are working independently. The teacher may have given an assignment and giving them a certain amount of time to work on it. Synchronous learning are live sessions that you see. We're having a live session right now, and you've seen, if you were with us in the spring, you saw some of the live sessions with teachers then. So teachers will open the day with synchronous learning with the core content. They may have more synchronous learning with our encore teachers. We have that 5-day rotation. Then the student may have an opportunity to work on a couple of assignments independently, and then they will finish the day in a live session with the teacher, with his or her classroom teacher. So everybody will be in the school. So our classroom teachers are reporting to the building and they are teaching from their classrooms. It's a mobile classroom. So we're using technology for them to teach from their classrooms, and our entire team is reporting to the school every day, all day, from 7:15 a.m. till about 3:45 p.m. every day. We will be in the school building. There are times when internet outages occur. How will classes be made up? So if the internet outage occurs on our time, we just have to schedule it for later in the week. If it occurs on the teachers, or excuse me, the parent side, the lessons will be recorded. They're recorded in Schoology so they can be reviewed at a later time. The student just misses the opportunity to ask questions for the content in the synchronous learning. But even if that happens, we still have Fridays where students can move through that moderated content with the teacher if needed, even with the internet outages. So we make sure we create spaces and opportunities for students to get the information at a later time, if the outage is on our half or if the outage is on the parent side. Will the kids get letter grades this first 9 weeks? We are waiting for guidance for that. But even if they do not receive letter grades, they will be receiving sustaining feedback or helpful feedback about their growth. We are working through the decision from the state about how testing will occur. And as soon as we have that decision, we'll share it with families. But based on how those diagnostic tests, the information we get from those diagnostic tests, we create a personalized learning plan for students, and we continue to provide them ongoing feedback. So even if they're not getting a letter grade, they're getting the information they need to grow. Once a decision is made about that letter grade, we will share that with families. Will someone go back to answer the questions that were posted but not addressed during this session? Absolutely, we will. If the questions aren't popping up, they pop up for me, but if something happens and they're not popping up for me, we do have a moderator. Ms. Ackla is on the line and she's answering questions. But if we missed one, we absolutely review the transcripts and provide answers in the form of an FAQ document, or either I address it next Sunday evening. But if you have a question right now is a great time to ask it. Any other questions and concerns? I hear your concerns. We've had some common themes about what will the day-to-day look like with us opening in Plan C. I hear your concerns about what will grading look like. And I hear your concerns about other opportunities for making sure that students can access their learning every day. We're here to support that opportunity. Do you have any other questions? I'll just remind you while we're waiting, while you may be thinking, this video recording will be posted at www.cabarruscharter.org, and it also will be posted on our Facebook page. So make sure you like our Facebook page so that you have access. How will we notify the school about absences and doctor appointments? There's an opportunity for you to do that in Schoology, and that's a part of the Schoology training where you are able to contact your learner's teacher directly to say, my son or daughter or children will not be in school on this day, because we do take attendance. And then there's an opportunity for you to upload any doctor's notes so that we can code those absences correctly. It all happens in the learning management system, which makes it very convenient. I'm very excited about Schoology, and I'll be excited to share those learning sessions with you as we get them scheduled. Any other questions? Teachers will be teaching from inside the classrooms. Yes, teachers will be teaching from in the building. They're teaching from in their classrooms, where all their resources are, where the mobile technology is for them to deliver learning for students daily. Will provide teaching or just assignments. They will provide synchronous learning. Every instructional team member will be providing synchronous learning, as well as an opportunity for students to have independent practice through the asynchronous process. So yes, they will have live sessions, and they will be scheduled just as they would have been if our students would have been in person. We want to make sure that when our students return to campus, it's as seamless as possible, that they've been experiencing learning very similar in the mobile classroom as they would have been in the in-person classroom. Mr. Shields, a question popped up, but then it disappeared very quickly. When we get schedules and how it will be handled, if you have children in multiple grades, we'll be sending that information out from the classroom teachers. We're sharing rosters with teachers on August 10th and asking them to reach out to families about our processes the week of August 10th through 14th. And then, of course, at open house, your teacher will be available to answer any question you may have about schedules. But you can plan that Monday through Thursday, your student will have direct learning, live learning opportunities. And on Friday, they will have opportunities to revisit content that they may need additional help with, or they will have the opportunity to take a preview of the upcoming week's learning. So you can pretty much count on that schedule, even though the times of day may differ depending on grade level. The students come to school on the 19th. They do not. They do not come to school for first quarter at all. It is fully mobile based on Plan C. Mhm. Yes, if your students are not able to be online at 7:45 because of several factors that happens with several of our families, they will have the opportunity to join later in the day. We're working through our team members, our instructional team members, with what the expectations will be for that. But the lesson will be recorded and they will have an opportunity to complete the independent practice or the asynchronous learning to receive credit, even if they're not able to do it in real time. We absolutely will offer that flexibility. Any other questions? Remember, you have the opportunity to email myself, Mr. Shields, or Ms. Akla after this recording or any other time that you may have questions, as well as reviewing this recording at www.cabarruscharter.org. Yes, students will be able to access Schoology from personal devices. It is an internet-based learning management system, and it integrates with our Power School offerings. So once your student is in Power School for us and we set them up in Schoology, they can access it from any internet access point they have. It doesn't have to be just a school device. When we move into testing scenarios, that's when it matters if it's a school device or not. We'll talk about that after a decision is made about testing. Any other questions? I thank you for joining us this evening. It has been quite an eventful couple of weeks, but we are here to support our families no matter what the decision is and to offer our achievers the best learning experience possible based on those decisions. When is the upper school meeting? I believe Mr. Pierce has something scheduled for Tuesday, but that will be populated on the upper school's website, and I'm sure we'll get a call out to those families as well. Yes, Mr. Shields is confirming that it is Tuesday. You'll also be receiving a letter from me. I just wanted the opportunity to chat with you face to face first, or in our via our live session first before I send a letter explaining Friday's board decision and then what our schedule is moving forward when you can expect other communications from me. I will be sending that letter out to you tomorrow. Any other questions? You can expect to meet me here Sunday evenings on my porch at 7 p.m. for the month of August, and then these meetings will probably move to Fridays, embedded in the school week as we move through our mobile classroom opportunity the first 9 weeks of school. The board will be revisiting that decision as they have board meetings in August and September, but we will be opening in the fully mobile classroom on August 19th. No students should report to the building. Our open house is scheduled the day before, August 18th, and it is also fully mobile. It is a virtual experience. You'll have some live sessions with myself as well as the classroom teachers, and you'll have the opportunity to get that content recorded as well. Any other questions? If you haven't already liked our page on Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, please do so. Just give us a search, cabarruscharter.org, or just Cabarrus Charter Academy on Facebook. You have the opportunity to like our page. Several of you have joined us in the last couple of weeks, and I just say welcome to you. But if you haven't had the opportunity to like us, do like us. If you're not a Facebook user, much of the same information is posted on our school's website, and that's at www.cabarruscharter.org. Well, yes, the board meetings are always public and they're always streamed. So it will be shared just like it was on Friday. We do a public notice and then you have the opportunity to attend via the directions in the public notice. Any other questions? Let's give just a couple of minutes of wait time. And then if we don't have any questions, we're going to say good night for the time being. Again, if you need to reach me directly, I'm at kwhite@cabarruscharter.org. You need to reach Mr. Shields because you need to update any information so that you are connected when we transition to the school messenger platform. He is at tshields@cabarruscharter.org. And if you just have broad questions about everything, the person who knows everything about what's going on in the building is Ms. Ackla. And she is at mackla@cabarruscharter.org. Please feel free to send your questions if you can't think of anything in this moment. Feel free to send your questions via email. Note that even if you can't think right now and you need to review this recording again, it will show up on our Facebook page and on our web page. Oh, you're welcome. We have continued to work. Thank you, Ms. Smith. We have continued to work to honor the expectations of our board of Charter Schools USA and to make sure we create amazing learning experiences for your achievers. And that is our primary goal, and we're going to achieve that goal. Don't forget, we're still going to be offering meals to our families the first 9 weeks of school. If you're opting to pick up a week's worth of meals, or if you're opting to pick up daily meals, just make sure that you fill out that free and reduced lunch application. That's available to you at www.cabarruscharter.org. You navigate to the Parents tab, and under the Parents tab, you see instructions for how to apply for free and reduced lunch. I invite every family to apply for free and reduced lunch because it helps us with our grant numbers, but also things change so quickly. We had, when we moved into the pandemic, we had families who didn't need that opportunity before. They didn't need that benefit beforehand, but after COVID-19 and after a couple of months of things shifting, they needed that benefit and it was available to them because they had applied just to help me out. You help Ms. White out when you apply for free and reduced lunch, and we can get our grant numbers up. So please, I invite everybody to apply, even if you don't plan on taking advantage of the benefit. And then we'll have a process for you to let us know if you're going to be picking up meals. So we want to support in every way, even beyond the academic scenario. We want to support you physically, socially, emotionally, as well as academically. Okay, we'll give just a few more seconds to see if there are any more questions, and if not, we're going to say good night, but I will see you back here next Sunday, August 9th. Okay, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Be on the lookout for any communication from us this week, talking more about details about what you can expect from that fully mobile classroom on August 19th. Thank you for joining me this evening. Have a good night.